I'm currently working on Monopoly, Chapter 24, Number 4. I'm drawing this thing on the whiteboard, and I decided as I'm drawing what I'm thinking, I would just start to include you in my thinking as I'm about halfway through the question. The question goes like this. The marginal revenue curve of Monopoly crosses its marginal cost at $30 per unit at an output of 40 million units. The price that consumers are willing to pay for this output is $40 per unit. If it produces this output, the firm's average total cost is $43 per unit, and its average fixed cost is $8 per unit. What is the profit maximizing or loss minimizing output? What are the firm's economic profits or losses? So this one, I thought something that caught my eye was this very high, the highest figure of everything that's given of $43 for the cost per unit or average total cost. So I knew right away when I'm drawing these things, I'm thinking to myself, you could answer this without drawing it, by the way, but I find it useful to draw them. I'm thinking to myself, their profit maximizing level of output is 2 million. So that told me that they're talking about where marginal revenue and marginal cost intersect. Okay, so demand, I started by drawing demand and marginal revenue. Demand's always shaped something like that. Marginal revenue is always inside it, trapped inside demand. Steeper, and it can go negative. We don't have to draw that though. And the profit maximizing level of output and marginal cost. Then I put on marginal cost and average total cost. Marginal cost is generally a nice check mark, and it crosses average total cost at average total cost minimum, right? That's basically what I have there. I might have missed the minimum a little bit, but I'm close. And the profit maximizing level of output is where marginal revenue and marginal cost intersect, right there. So that's why I put that 2 million there. And then I started to continue doing it on my own, and I was like, well, let me just explain what I'm doing. Okay, he told us that the consumers, were willing to spend $30 per unit. Crosses. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It's there. This crosses at 30 million or $30 per unit. He tells us that's there. I don't think that's going to turn out to be relevant, but he tells us that there. But somewhere that's there. But somewhere the price that consumers are willing to pay for this output is $40 per unit. That's where it is. This is the output because that's where marginal revenue crosses marginal cost. If people are willing to pay 40, what he's telling us is just above that along the demand curve. That's what people are willing to pay, is what the demand curve tells us. That's this 40 right here. So I'm illustrating what he's describing. I find it useful. But he had said, and that's why I have average total cost up so high, that the firm's average total cost is $43 per unit for that level of output. So I knew when I drew my average total cost curve, it had to be up above demand, and because it has to cross the minimum, be crossed at its minimum by marginal cost. So that told me to draw this thing up high, because at the equilibrium or the profit maximizing level of output, it was going to be above the price they could get. Okay, so how's this monopolist doing? Badly. They're producing their profit maximizing level of output, but they're making an economic loss because their total costs now are the cost per unit, this area, this height, right? Cost per unit is what average total cost is, times the number of units. So it's $43 times 2 million units. I don't care to figure out what that is. It's a lot. It's this whole rectangle. I don't think we... Oh, we do. I'll figure it out in just a second. That's this whole rectangle. That's their costs, total costs. Their total revenue is price times quantity. So that's 40 times 2 million. That's 80 million. Okay. So total revenue is 80 million. Let me write that down while I have it in my head. And total cost is 43 times 2 million. So that would be 86 million. So what's profit? Total revenue minus total cost is always profit. 80 minus 86 is negative 6 million. Negative 6 million. So that's how they're doing. Firms' loss minimizing output. Profit maximizing and loss minimizing are the same place. Marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Because we have figured out that they're losing money, it's still where they want to be. It's the best. It's the least worst they can be is producing at marginal revenue because marginal cost. It's just they're operating at a loss, so we call that loss minimizing. Short run economics losses equal $40 per unit minus $43 per unit times 2 million units negative $6 million. I'm reading the author's response. I approached it from total revenue and total cost approach over here. He used the other approach that we did in the last question where he looked at the difference per unit. 2 million, I sort of did that. Here's the area of total revenue, or total loss, the big rectangle. There's the area of total revenue, the smaller rectangle. So there's a gap between them. This time I can darken it in right here. But this time, the bigger rectangle is total costs. So this area of this rectangle right here is economic losses. And it's $3 times 20 million. $3 times 2 million. $3 times 2 million is 6 million. So we could do it either way. Hopefully, by doing it both ways, you got one way that makes sense to you.